Wholeness and blessings. Hey y'all, hey, it's Ashe. So I wanted to talk about using different elements to manifest the things that you want. I think that people rely really heavily on utilizing particular elements, and I just kind of wanted to share my experience with working with different elements and being able to create and manifest things, manifest reality through particular elements. So at this stage in my journey, I'm more into the alchemy, into the mental magic, into working with elements to create exactly the right concoction to manifest the thing that I'm trying to see in the physical 3D. To do that is always important to, I guess I would consider myself into root work. So so I would consider myself into root work in that respect, utilizing different herbs, different crystals, different waters, because trust me, it ain't just regular water, it's different waters, to totally create exactly what it is that I want. So with that being said, I want to get into the different elements and the things that kind of like just on the ground level I learned are really beneficial in manifesting different things. So the first element I want to start with is earth, because I'm an earth sign and I got mad earth in my chart. So earth is like a real big thing for me. Um, Earth is a very grounding, a very steady, very foundational element. When you're dealing with earth, you want to deal with things, a lot of things in the physical and the 3D, because earth is, earth and all earth signs are representative of the physical third dimension. Because earth, that's where we live. Um, so if you want to manifest things that are physical, money, a new house, um, uh, I went maybe a new job. I could say a new job, but things that are physical that are going to provide structure. You always want to deal with the earth element, and the ways that you can deal with the earth element is, of course, by having earth on your altar. Crystals are considered an earth element, even though when you start getting into the crystal kingdom, there's like just different things that each crystal is going to signify. But when you start with earth in general, rocks, dirt, even like wood from trees, plants, flowers. We're getting into different levels of manifesting with earth um, that can be beneficial for you. But my favorite thing to do is to dig a hole and bury something. So that's something that I no longer want, something that I want to lay to rest, something that I want to give back to the earth, something that I want to kind of ground from or put into the ground. So like things that I no longer want to experience, or things that I really kind of want to bury away or have no longer with me, I'll put into the earth. Things that I want to manifest, I'll dig a hole, but I'll plant a plant over it, specifically plants that bear fruit or flowers. And I do get into the whole alchemy of being specific with what I plant over it. Like it may be rosemary, it may be roses, blueberries, different aspects and different elements that way. There's so many things I got buried around just in my, around my property, for the specific intention of protection and manifestation. So earth is going to be your stabilizing element. It's going to be the thing that grounds you. Just walking barefoot on the earth. If you want to do a meditation, if you need grounding, it's always good to connect with the earth, with your feet, with your butt, laying in it. Just try to connect with that earth as much as you can. So the second element I want to mention is going to be fire. Now, unlike earth, fire is hot. And with fire, you deal with fire when you want things to come quickly or things to go quickly. Fire is more of you can kind of use each element to manifest different things, even though some elements are better for manifesting certain things. You can use the fire element to manifest things, because their fire and desire and passion are all the same. Like that burning desire for something. You can use candles, of course. We got a bonfire, so I'm always burning things in my fire pit. I do burning rituals and burning ceremonies just to rid myself of things. That's probably the biggest thing I use fire for, is to completely get rid of things. And with fire, like I said, it's quick, it's fast. So a easy money ritual, I guess, or I'll go with a cord cutting. An easy cord cutting ritual would be to set something on fire. So an easy way to use fire to cut cords. So a cord cutting ceremony, you get black string or black yarn, black candle, white candles work as well. You'll tie two ends of the string. You'll write down on one piece of paper different words, or whatever your story is, whatever it is that you're trying to get rid of, the person, the situation, the trauma, the whatever. You write that down on a piece of paper, you fold the piece of paper, you wrap the piece of paper with the black string, and you light your candle. And each side of the candle, you hold it over the fire until it breaks. And as you break it, you are envisioning yourself being separated from whatever it is that you're trying to separate yourself from. Because imagination is like 90% of magic. Like, using your imagination is a great, like, it's a big part of manifesting and using magic, visualization. So the third element that I want to talk about is going to be water. Water is a powerful cleanser. Water is a great conductor also. So you can use water to manifest things. A lot of people like to write things on their water bottles and drink the water. We are 70% water. The world is 70%, 75% water. So programming water is really a big thing in manifesting. People like to put crystals in their water. So yeah, it's kind of like it becomes a part of your being when you use water. But people mostly use water for cleansing. People mostly use spiritual baths for cleansing. I mentioned spiritual baths not too long ago. But you always want to have salt in your spiritual bath. If you get rainwater, throw some of that in there. If you can get different essential oils that correspond, and I'll one day go into just different essential oils that do different things, because the list is really endless when you start to deal with alchemy versus reaching out to deities. That alchemy is endless. It literally opens up a whole new world of magic and information to you when you are going to the earth, because the earth has endless bounty of abundance for you to really source from. Like, you can literally just look around your own backyard or look around your own neighborhood, and I guarantee you that every single tree, root, leaf, blade of grass, all of it, every stick, everything has some sort of spiritual meaning, because the original church is nature. So, but I don't want you to touch me with those hands. He's in church right now with the mud on his hands. So back to water. One of the biggest things that you can do is learn your herbs, learn your essential oils, so you can program your water, and even your teas. It just goes so deep, so you can program. And that's back to the earth element. That's probably why I love the earth element so much too. But if you can find a running stream of water, a river, the ocean, oh man, the ocean is like one of the best cleansers. Like, just going into the ocean and actually getting up under there. I mean, it's salt water, and it's a natural body of water, and it's one of the biggest natural bodies of water. But rivers and streams are good to cleansing as well. Abundance. We know a lot of river deities are associated with abundance, because when the water came, or when the river rose, when the Nile rose, it always brought food. So the river is always associated with abundance. Oshun is the river, and she is associated with abundance. So it's plenty of things that you can do to manifest abundance, to manifest, like I said, if you want to just cleanse yourself of different energies, if you want to attract things to you, water is a really good conductor. You can create spiritual baths that are for attraction. Every spiritual bath is not for cleansing. So yeah, just getting into the alchemy and all of that, and it's just so much that I would love to share. I got a lot to share. So lastly, we have air. Now, air is underutilized. And I think it's just because it's kind of hard to really grasp. I mean, air is just so non-physical that I don't think people really utilize air that much. However, you can represent air um, as the spirit world. Like this air is the spirit world. It's the same. And as I say that, the wind just blows through the trees. Air is the spirit world. So when you think of the air, think of the unseen that gives you life, the breath. And you can also use the breath to take you into different meditations and to take you into different levels of self, and different levels of trance that allow you to access the spirit world. So the breath literally is the spirit. So outside of moving air through your body in particular ways, which one way is fire breaths, is when you take a deep breath in and as fast as you can, really like a lot faster than that, and in and out, and of course in the meditation state, and do this as long as you can before you need to take another deep breath and breathe in and out, and I promise you that'll do something to you. But you feel your core literally heating up, and you feel yourself transcending into this whole totally different space. You can also use things that represent air, because again, air is kind of hard to is hard to utilize, because you can't see it. But you can use feathers, you can use smoke. A lot of the ancestors, that's why we burn sage. That's why we burn things. It's not the fire. Go ahead. Don't make no mess in my sink. It's not the element of fire, it's more so the smoke. Because when you're smudging something, you're not burning it on fire. You light it and you blow it out, and you're just utilizing the smoke. So smoke is always going to be is representative of air. Feathers represent air. Incense represent air. And a good thing that you can do, a good ritual you can do that would be associated with air, would be to contact ancestors. So in order to contact ancestors, what you would want to do is you would want to write your affirmations or your intentions down. Preferably have an ancestor altar, and I'll tell you guys all about how to set up an altar at some point. Also, it's just so much, man. But preferably what you would want to do is create an ancestor altar. Now, if you don't have an ancestor altar, writing down the names of your ancestors, putting out a white sheet, a white towel, a white candle, everything white, that's sufficient. If it's just, if your situation doesn't really warrant you to have a full-fledged altar all the time, just make sure the space is clean, make sure it's looking good, it's looking bright. You got it right. You can use pictures of your ancestors, or you can just write their names down, and utilize that. So when you're preparing food for the ancestors, burning tobacco is a big way to carry food up to the ancestors, and that's a Native American tradition. That's the original use of tobacco, is even why tobacco was used in the first place. It's a very deep ancestral connection. That's why some energies actually like the cigar smoke, because it's that tobacco. It's the it's a whole vibe. It's a whole situation. But yeah, Native Americans used the tobacco smoke to reach the ancestors, and I mean, like, in big giant piles. Native Americans used the white sage. That's where we get white sage from. Palo Santo is more of a Mexican or South American. I kind of want to say Hispanic, but I feel like that's not the word that I want. Cultural thing, but also still of the indigenous people to this land. So our indigenous ancestors always understood the correlation between smoke and, like, even just the smoky mirror, understood the correlation between smoke and the ancestral realm and air. So when you're sending something, a signal to your ancestors, you can always use smoke. So yeah, burning a candle and some incense to your ancestral altar. When you're offering your ancestors something, always try to burn an incense, myrrh, frankincense, just different things. But yeah, air is really a good way to get messages into the spirit world. And that's what you utilize the air element for mostly, because again, it's unseen. You can't taste it, you can't smell it. But it's always everywhere. It's God. It's, you die without it. People say you die without water, but you die without air much faster. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just utilizing the different elements, finding your alchemy, finding your different tone. It's not the same for everybody. This is just my experience and my research and my practices, and just different things that I know to be true. It may be different. It may manifest differently for you, but again, if you're just starting out, this is probably the easiest thing. The child got dirt in his hair. Yeah, this is probably the easiest way to kind of jump into dealing with different elements. All right, I'm out of here. Wholeness.